and welcome to this week's training. So this week I'm going to share with you how to make weight loss simple. I'm going to share with you 3 proven steps that can make that a possibility. And let me just share with you one client who used these exact steps I'm going to share with you right now. Her name's Marie. She started off with me. She's 50 years of age. She's got 2 children. She was able to lose 57 pounds. And as you look at the screen there, you may be forgiven for thinking, oh, Eric's going to talk about definitely using weights and exercise and all that sort of stuff. Well, I can tell you now that exercise has got nothing to do with these 3 tips I'm about to share with you. It really hasn't. You can lose weight without exercise. However, if you do want all of the benefits and the holistic package when it comes to becoming healthier and fitter and losing weight, then you'd certainly introduce some form of exercise. But that's not what these 3 proven steps are about today. Now, they are simple steps. That doesn't mean they are necessarily easy. So just to be absolutely clear, because something's simple, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy to do. But if you really grasp and understand and internalize these 3 things and start to make some efforts towards introducing them into your own lifestyle, you will see, I guarantee you, a dramatic change in your health. Now, slight caveat to that. If you've got underlying health conditions, then what you do need to do is double check with your doctor, GP, or whoever is your health advisor before you make any sort of dietary changes at all to your diet. So let's take a look at the 3 proven steps that you can start to use from today. These are the steps I've shared with my clients. Like I say, you can see Marie on screen there. So what's number 1? Number 1 is improve your food quality. Now, you've noticed I've not said change your eating habits entirely. I'm just saying improve your food quality. Now, why am I saying improve it rather than giving you a whole list of foods you should be eating? Because look, here's the reality. If you suddenly start to cut out everything that you like eating and drinking and replace it for this brand new list of healthy food, the chances are you're going to crash and burn pretty quickly. So that's not a good strategy. What we're talking about here is improving your food quality in terms of the impact it has on your blood sugar levels. Because if you're eating foods that are, refined, sugary types of foods, and that includes sweet and savory, then what's going to happen as you eat those foods, what's going to happen is you're going to increase your blood glucose levels, you're then going to increase your insulin levels, and you put your body in a fat storing mode. That's not where you want to be. You do not want to be in a fat storing mode. So you want to be trying to eat more of these types of foods, the healthy whole foods. The more whole food you can eat, then it naturally pushes out the inverted commas unhealthy foods. Okay, so we're looking to improve our food quality. So what do you have for breakfast? Are the improvements you can make there? Is your breakfast pretty good? Is it more your lunch that needs to be looked at, or is it your evening meal, or is it mainly the weekends when you go off track? So just look to improve your overall food quality, and that will have a profound impact on your overall health and well-being. I guarantee it. So improve your food quality. That's number 1. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 is improve your eating times. And what do I mean by improve your eating times? Well, if we go back to the 1970s and we looked at how we were eating then compared to how we eat now. Back in the 70s, it was typically breakfast, lunch, evening meal, and that was it. There was no snacking in between. Now we look at how we eat in the 2020s. We're eating maybe 6, 8, 10 times a day. So let's just go back to what was happening in the 70s and why there wasn't an epidemic of obesity versus why there is now. So when you eat breakfast, let's say 8 o'clock, lunch at 12, and let's say your evening meal at 5 p.m., there are blocks of time in between all of those meals where your body's allowed to digest the food, take out the nutrients it needs to take out, lower your blood sugar levels, lower the insulin, so that your body in those blocks of time when you're not eating is able to start to burn your stored body fat, which is what we want to do. And think about it. If you stopped eating at, let's say, 6 p.m. at night and didn't eat again until, let's say, 6 a.m. the next morning, which would be quite early, that's 12 hours where your body has got the opportunity to digest food properly, utilize the nutrients it needs to use to carry out all the repairs, but also to be able to burn fat from your fat stores. So think about improving your eating quality time. What I'm talking about here specifically is, how often are you eating? You know, are you grazing all day long? Because some people, they graze all day long. They're never not eating. And what that means is you're in a feeding or store, a fat storing state. Every time you eat something, you're going to get a slight increase in your blood sugar levels, which means you're going to get an increase in your insulin levels. So that means you are continually storing body fat. So if you can decide what your eating times are going to be and then not eat outside of those, you're going to give yourself the opportunity to be able to burn your fat stores. And that's what we want to be doing, as opposed to eating continually and being in a fat storing mode. So that's number two. Let's take a look at number three. Number three is improve your sugar intake. And I'm not saying improve it by increasing your sugar intake. I'm talking about decreasing your sugar intake, obviously. Now, if you look at the guidelines given by the World Health Organization, they're recommending about 30 grams of sugar a day. There's another chap out there called Dr. Robert Lustig. You might want to Google him. He wrote a very good book called The Fat Chance. And his recommendation is no more than 20 grams of sugar a day, which equates to about one apple. And when I look at people's diets and I hear about what people are eating, and I hear people having conversations about they're eating this, they're eating that, they're having low fat this and low fat that. When you look at the sugar content that people are consuming on a daily basis, and maybe check your own, it can easily exceed 200 grams of sugar a day, easily. And just think about that for a second. 200 grams of sugar going into your body when the recommendation by Dr. Robert Lustig is 20 grams. You can see where you're heading if you continue with that sort of eating long term. So those are my three proven steps that I share with my clients when I'm working with them. That work incredibly well. Hopefully that makes some sense to you, and you're going to try and adopt some of these. If you are thinking about wanting to lose weight and you do need some assistance with all of this stuff and how to, stay on course, what to do to correct your course if you go off course, some accountability, then by all means go ahead, find the link below this video, click on that, and that will take you to a page where you can book a free chat with me. Costs nothing. It's just a 10-minute conversation to find out whether or not there's a possibility we could work together. And if we can, we'd then set up a second call at another time. So nothing to buy on that initial call, just literally a fact-finding exercise for me to find out if I can help you and you to decide whether or not we think we could work together. Well, that's a mutual thing that we both have to sort of decide upon. Don't forget, if it's your first time here and you haven't already signed up and you'd like to be informed when I release my next videos, then subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye for now.